Hey guys, welcome back to C Has or C Sub tutorial session 18. In today's session you can learn the important concept of OPS or object oriented programming structure, inheritance in C Has. Then within inheritance you can learn what is single inheritance, one is multi-level inheritance, one is hierarchical inheritance and multiple inheritance. So most of the programming language like C++, Java, C Hash, Python, they follows the OPS concept. OPS is nothing but the object-oriented programming structure. So inheritance is a feature of object-oriented programming language that allows user to define a base class that provides specific functionality, means data and behavior, and to define derived classes that either inherit or override that functionality. So as part of OPS concept, in most of the programming language like C Hash, Python, Java, everything will be considered as class or object, and you can create multiple object or instances from the same class. Apart from the class and object, there are four key concepts of OPS is inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation and abstraction that will be covered in the upcoming session. So using inheritance, user can create classes that are built in upon existing classes as well. When your user inherits from an existing class, then they can reuse method and field from the parent class and can also add new method and fields in the child class. The class where the class member are getting inherited is called superclass or parent class or base class, and the class to which the class member are getting inherited is called subclass, child class or derived class. To inherit from a class, user need to use the symbol, right, colon symbol. So say I'm giving a simple example, right? What is inheritance? So in our life also, like there is a concept like parent-child relationship. So few of the properties from the parent will go to the child, and similarly grandparent to parent and parent to child, right? But here, in case you are defining some variable, right, some method in the parent class, and you are establishing a relationship between the parent and child or the child class, so all the method or field child class can access. Apart from that, child class have their own method and functions or fields as well, but that is not possible vice versa. So child can access parent or grandparent, but like parent can't access the child attribute, or grandparent can't access the parent or the child attribute. So in C Hash there are couple of types of inheritance available: single inheritance, multi-level, right, hierarchical, and the multiple inheritance. So single inheritance, a single derived class inherits from a single base class. So you could say here the class A and class B. So class B is inheriting the class A, means class B can have their own method field. Apart from that, after inheriting, class B also can access the class A's method or field. Multi-level inheritance means there will be multiple relationship like the parent, grandparent and the child. So class C inherit to the class B and class B inherit to the class A. So here class C will be child and class B will be parent and class A will be grandparent. So child can access both parent and grandparent. Parent can access only grandparent, right? And but grandparent can't access child and parent properties. So in multi-level inheritance, a derived class inherit from a base, and then same derived class act as a base class of another class. So class B I mean kind of inheriting class B and class C inheriting to class B. So there is a kind of multi-level inheritance relationship established. Parents, children or child, parent and grandparent. Now let's try to understand the concept of inheritance in C hash. So we already created the project, and this is our default program class in Visual Studio 2022. So we'll create some defined class. So public class, which will be creating by our own. So I can give something called class A. Okay, and that is the way I can define some class, and I can create some variables. So public, say integer A equal to say 10, and then I can create a method public void add. Here I can pass two in integer I, comma integer j. and I want to sum those two variable. So that is my method addition, right? So Console.WriteLine, and what I want to do, I want to sum them, j, okay, I plus j, simply. Or you can give something that addition of two integer variable, or that is the way I can simply concatenate. So I can give some plus sign here and bracket here, so that these two value will be concatenated, and I need to end with semicolon, and here I need to give the plus sign. Okay, so that is the way I can do it. So I already declared a variable, I created a method, and in the main method you can create a number of object or instance for the class A whatever defined in your project, right? So say give object A equal to new class A, that is the syntax, class name, then object name equal to new class. Now if you want to print it out, the variable value, so you need to use console.writeLine, console.writeLine. Here you need to call that object, and then if you press dot you can access the variable, right? And then now if you want to access the method whatever defined in the class A, you can just give the object name, and then you can call the method. Here you can pass these two argument here, right? Whatever argument value you want to give, suppose say I want to add 10 and I want to add 20. This is the two variable I want to pass, and I want to print out the sum of these two value. Now if you execute the code, right, so what will happen, based on the object created for the class A, it will print you the variable value for the object of the for the a variable, and you could see the addition of two integer variable are 30. So as because I want to add two variable 10 and 20, so that is the way. This is the common, known thing. In case you are defining any class in the project, and if you want to create an object or instance, then if you want to access them in the main method, you can easily do it. Okay, now let's try to create one more class. Okay, so class B, I can define something called class B, and I can create one more variable called B variable. I can give the value called 20, and here instead of addition I want to create a variable method called subtraction. Okay, so similar way integer I and j I can give define, no need to give change anything. So here I can just change the subtraction of two variable will be I minus j, because that is the way I can subtract from one variable to another variable. Now let's see, let's try to create a object or instance for the class B. So objb equal to new class B, that is the way. Now similar way, right, I can access the method whatever was defined for the object B, sorry, was the variable. So object B, variable B is there, so I can access it, and for the object B I can access the subtraction method also, right, of dot subtraction. So here I can pass to variable, say give it 30 and 20. So whatever the value will be, the value will be equal to 10, right, because if you want to subtract 30 minus 20, so it will give you 10. So now if you execute your code, so definitely whatever object you have created, through this object you can access all the variable and all the method pertaining to the class. You could see, so this is coming from the class A, and this is coming from the class B, right, because this is the variable declared for the class B level 20. I'm accessing it with the help of that object B, right, and I want to call the subtraction method, which is giving me the I minus j. So here I is 20, 30 and j is 20, so it is giving me the 10 value. But in case I want to access any variable or method defined in the class A, is it possible to access it? Now let's try to see. So with the help of that object B, if I want to access the A variable, you could see that A variable is not coming at all, right? Or if you want to access subtraction, sorry, my addition method, you could see that is not coming at all. So you cannot access them. If you want to forcefully access them, suppose say I want to forcefully access the a variable, because it is not giving you suggestion, so you could see error message is coming. If you want to run them forcefully, it will give you the error. You could see class B does not contain a definition of A and no accessible extension method A accepting a first argument of type, right, could not be found. So that is the way, right, only with the help of that object whatever you created for the particular class, you can only access all the fields or method or data whatever you define for that class only. You cannot access outside the class or maybe outside the other class. So it is not possible. It is throwing the error. Okay, so let's comment it out. Okay, now say then what is the way I can access the other variable or the method defined in the other class? So if with the help of that child class, so let's try to establish a relationship. So say I want to consider this is my parent class and this is my child class. Then how can I establish the relationship between the parent and child or single inheritance? So you need to use the colon sign. So that is the child class and you need to give the parent class in reference. So now class A will be your parent class, right, for the class B is the child and class A is parent. Now for the class B child class object can access the child class all the data field or method, as well as they can access now the parent class, right, field data or method. Now if you access with the help of that object, if you copy it, that line, if you want to execute that line, it will execute, as well as now with the help of the object, if you call the method, right, add, it will work, right. Add method, here I can give something called 40 and 30, I can sum it, right, 30 and 20. So here you can give some differences so that you can easily understand how it is working. So that is the differentiator for the class A object and class B object. So you can easily understand how it is working. Now if you execute your code, just this is the way single level inheritance is possible. So this is the class A. With the help of the class A object, I am accessing only class A variable and the class A method, right? But with the help of the object B, right, I am able to access the class B variable and class B method, which is subtraction. Now as I already established the relationship like of the inheritance, so now class B is inheriting class A. So with the help of the inheritance now of the object, I can access the class A variable along with the class A method. So 50, which is the addition of 30 and 20. So that is the way you can establish the single inheritance in C hash. Now in C hash, multi-level inheritance also possible, means grandparent to child. So derived class inherit from a base class and then the same derived class act as a base class for another class. So let's try to create one more class here. Will be class C. So here I can use class C, which I can inherit from the class B. So now class C is inheriting class B and class B is already inheriting class C, sorry, class A. So here class A will be the grandparent, class B will be the parent and class C will be the child. So I can define some value called C and something called 30, and I can create some operation called multiplication. So ing I want to multiply, so I can change the body also, so it will be I star j. Okay, now that's fine. Now let's try to create a object or instance for the class C. So I can differentiate with some symbol. Now I'll be creating a class C object or instance. So class C, object name is object C, and it will be class C. So now with the help of that object, object C, I can access the variable for okay, so as already established relationship established, so I can access, right, the method or field from the parent and the grandparent class, which is the class A and class B. Now as apart from that, I can access the class C object, sorry, class C variable as well. So here what is the class C variable? C, and then class C method is called subtract, sorry, multiplication. So say give 30 and 20, that's fine, or give 20 or 20, right? So that is the way. If you establish a relationship like of multi-level inheritance, means, right, you are establishing relationship for parent, grandparent, sorry, grandparent to parent to child, so that child can access the child variable data type methods, they can access the parent data type variable method, and they can access the grandparent data type or variable method. So now with the help of the object, I can access the parent, I can access the grandparent, right, I can access the self, right, whatever defined in the particular class also. So now if you execute your code, it should be working fine for the object C, which is the now as part of the multi-level inheritance. So it is now hitting B, which is the parent class variable, for because class B, this is the parent for class C. So access, and then it can subtraction here, and then also it is accessing the grandparent 10, and then 30 plus 20 equal to 50, and now it is accessing the same own class, right, variable. So 30 and 20 into 30 equal to 400, 20 equal to 20 equal to 400. So that way, right, it is possible in C hash to establish the multi-level inheritance relationship as well. The next will be hierarchical inheritance. So what will happen? One class serve as a superclass for more than one class. So say multiple class can inherit a single class. So here we already have created the class A, B, and C, and we already established the relationship like called multi-level, right? And as well as single inheritance. So single inheritance class B to class A, and multi-level is class A to class B and class C, like that. Now if I create one more class called class D, and then I can create a variable called D equal to say 40, and here I can call division, right? I want to create a method called division. So say I want to divide these two. Then if I inherit class A, so that is the way I can establish the relationship of hierarchical, because here, so class B is also extending, sorry, I mean there's an inheritance, right, for class B to class A, and now class A to class, sorry, class D to class A. So class D and class B both are inheriting to class A. So one class means class A serve as a superclass or base class for more than one class means class D and class A. So that is the way I can establish the relationship. Now if you create an object or instance for the class D, right, so I'll be creating a class D here. So object D and class D. So now with the help of that object, I can definitely access the object whatever defined in the class D. Along with that, I can also access the division method whatever already there in the class A. So 30 divided by 5, so it will be output will be 6. Similar way, I can access the variable or the method or whatever defined in the parent class for class D, right? So for class D, parent class is A, so I can access the variable A, and as well as the add method, I can access it. So it will be A, and now I can access the add method as well. So that is the way, right? So you can use the same thing, maybe 30 and 10. So you could see now if you execute your code, so it will give you the desired result. by accessing the that particular object whatever you created for that class D. So it can access both the variable for class D and method also. So variable D was defined as 40 and division 30 divided by 5 equal to C, as well as now you can access the method here for the class A and the sorry a variable and the method, right? 40 nothing but like 40 means it is the addition of 30 and 20. So that is the way, right? You can create or establish an hierarchical inheritance. The last one is the multiple inheritance. So multiple inheritance in C hash is not possible for the class. Okay, sometime some questions might come, right? Is it possible to establish the relationship for the multi-level inheritance for the class in C hash? But class in C hash is not possible. So one class can have more than one superclass and inherited features from all the parent class. But C hash does not support multiple inheritance with class, but user can achieve multiple inheritance only through interface in C hash. So multiple inheritance in C hash is only possible through interface, but not for the class. So whenever I will be covering the interface, then I'll show you how you can establish the multiple inheritance in C hash with the help of the interface. So that's all from today's session. Thank you. So I have tried to given some example also here in the slide. Okay, but you can refer the code to the practice already illustrated here. Thank you.